Want to go get a drink? You buying? Sure.
Interviews. This is so exciting. Honey, do you want some gum? Your breath gets really gnarly when you're nervous. Mr. Witwicky?
Yeah, search is over.
I'm Mr. Whitley.
Is anybody else joining?
No.
No? You want me to move right there? I'll move right there.
Prefer not.
Sensei.
Ready? Begin.
Graduated this year, major in geopolitics, minor in tech studies. Very interested in government and technology, how that's going to intersect and coexist.
Shape the future.
Why did we bother sending him to an Ivy College for? I mean, 3 months out of school and he can't find a job?
Mr. Matsumoto. Moto. Martha, can I call you Martha?
No, you may not.
Okay, Jack, there's two types of people in this world. There's thinkers, there's doers. There's winners, there's dreamers, and there's buddies. What about some weaknesses? You have a very trustworthy face. You remind me of like an Asian Colonel Sanders, a man I can trust.
He's a millennial. That means they're the, like lost generation.
Why was the FBI looking for you?
The what? Yeah, FBI, good of you to flag that.
It was during all that alien craziness when you were 14. I mean, they were very kind to me. They found me in a jiffy. And that's all been expunged. Obama gave me a medal, actually. I'm just saying, it's always good to have a medal guy in the office with a medal.
From Obama?
Yeah.
In this office, we're mostly Republicans. So.
I'm not feeling too good.
No?
No.
Why don't you get a little dipping tray and dip the dog into Pepto? That's a solution. Pow. I got another one. We gotta go. Come on.
Really?
Sit. Got myself a Mr. Sam Witwicky, recent college graduate, previous experience next to zero, yet he has a recommend letter from our board. WTF to that.
Do I know somebody on your board?
Here's the deal, you know who we are. Accurata Systems, global leader in telecom, aerospace, 17 billion in profit last year. We contract for DARPA, NASA, JPL, you name it. You perform here, doors open for you anywhere. First job out of college is critical, kid. You either take a step down the correct career path or you fall into a life-sucking abyss. So it all depends on how you respond to my next two words. Impress me.
Now?
Impress me.
She'd catch me off guard. I don't know where to
Impress
begin.
me.
I'm an open book. Ask me any question you
So
like.
you're a go-getter,
Yes, sir.
ramrod, take charge kind of guy?
I'm a killer, a stone-cold killer.
So take charge guy?
Take charge, Viking, barbarian, of course, that's me. Pow! I'm here.
We are not looking for that here. No brown-nosing, no suck-up, no toolery.
Yes, Mr. Brazos.
Why is Chantel using what appears to be a red cup from the red floor when we are on the yellow floor?
I'm on it.
It is a visual and therefore a visceral betrayal. Stop it.
Such a dumbass.
Disgusting. Thank you. It's total anarchy around here.
The email I read said administrative aid.
Nope, mailroom.
I'm gonna go.
Do you have any idea how many Ivy League Phi Beta Kappas would kill?
Mister, I saved your life twice. Okay? I can't tell you how or when or why, but I have done shit that matters, and I just kind of like a job where I matter again. So thank you, but no thank you, okay?
You know what I think? You want the job after this job, but son, this is the job that's standing in your way, and that's why you're gonna be so very, very good at it. Because when I look at you, I see a younger me.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of CMA's HRTV. Hope you guys are doing great. How are you, Sherin?
I am good. I missed you so much. You know why? Anyway.
I am back in the southern state of Malaysia.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to our usual guest, Mr. No, Vivian, Shiano. Shiano sounds like Keanu. Are you ready to Keanu?
Yeah. It's Keanu. So, guys,
Keanu
it's so nice to see some familiar faces here. But if you are new, let me tell you what HR Intervention is. It's basically an online talk show where we interview HR experts about things related to HR and career development. So really, if you are a working person, then this show is definitely for you. But before we dive further into the topic of the day, let me introduce myself. I'm Sherin from Compass Mind Asia, and with me is
James Sassi, Senior Manager of Learning and Development, and this is HR Intervention episode 4. Not fair lah. They changed your intro picture looking with that yellow orange color shirt, and mine is still the same old. I say,
you jealous, ah?
Yeah.
Then make another trip to KL. Don't sit where you're sitting.
I will.
There's nothing much happening. Anyway, welcome, guys, and it's so nice to see you guys. If you are listening up to us, please let us know where are you from. Say a hi and where are you from, because we've had people from Dubai come in, India come in, and last episode we had quite a bit of people from America because we had a celebrity from America.
So, and guess who that celebrity was?
Oh, they got to go and watch the replay, which is on the YouTube. So, yes. Yeah, if you are here, please let us know where you're from, because then if you're from Malaysia, tell us which part of Malaysia. Kuala Lumpur, PJ, Johor, you know, where you're from. We would love to know. And, well, if you have any questions at all along the way, please feel free to put it in the comment section. You don't need to wait until the end. Just load your questions in. And guys, if you're a newbie on the show, put #newbie. We would like to know who's new on the show.
Amazing. Okay, Sherin, shall we get to the video that we're playing earlier before the show starts?
Yeah.
I think the scene from Fun with Dick and Jane is hilarious. I mean, the troubles they went through hoping to get there first, only to later find out that there was a long queue of other candidates.
Yeah, that's true. And did you notice about the scene from Transformer 3? There was one part where Sam's parents were discussing a quote. Why do we even bother sending our child to the Ivy College, you know?
Yeah.
3 months out of school and still no job. And then the mom said this, you know. You know what the mom said? I can't believe it. I feel it's so stereotyping. He's a millennial. They're the lost generation. I was like, what? What did I just hear?
You know my feelings about millennials, right?
Oh, yes, I do.
I am a phillennial. You know what that means? I'm not a millennial, but I feel like a millennial. It's a phillennial.
You are really cute, lah.
Anyway, we need an expert opinion on this other than us. Well, we are experts too.
Well, before we introduce our experts, we see quite a bit of people from we have Mimi from KPJ Klang in Selangor. We've got Chitra all the way from Ipoh Mali. Ada sombong punya. Isn't it, Chitra? Of course, Vivian from Subang Jaya. Hi, Vivian.
Farah from Amanah Raya Berhad.
That's in KL.
Anyone from Johor? Come on, Johorians.
We've got Damansara Perdana. That's near me. Hi, CA. Angela's from KL. Angela, which part of KL, Angela? Ampang? Okay. Oh, wow. Look, we already have a question, but why don't you introduce our speaker for today?
Yeah. So as I was saying, we need an expert opinion on this other than us, of course. So let us welcome our guest today. He is none other than an HR expert, and his name is Norazmi Ibrahim. Woohoo!
Yay,
Hello.
Norazmi.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi,
So let me
Sherin. Hi,
tell you.
James. How are you?
Hi.
Hi,
Hope you're
Okay,
doing
looking good.
well today.
Azmi.
Yes,
You have a
yes.
better background than me, lah.
No lah. No,
I
we are the
see.
same. We are the same. Yeah.
Oh, so sweet. But let me introduce all you guys to our HR expert today. He has really 15 years of experience working in huge conglomerates, MNCs like Maybank, RHB Bank, UEM Sunrise, and
Wow.
many others, including Mazda. He really has covered so many areas of HR. Wow, from the recruitment unit to performance management to talent management, and then manpower planning and including project management and many other areas in the HR. He has led diverse teams to serve customers of diverse racial and social standings.
As an expert, Azmi, um, I say you really have an impressive resume, man. Can I call
Thank you.
you Azmi?
Can,
Can
can,
I
can.
call you bro?
Ask me, cheat me, can, no problem.
Check me, okay. So tell us more about yourself.
All right, thank you, James. My name is Norazmi. I've been exposed with all the spectrum of HR, recruitment until talent management, performance, etc. I'm also doing coaching, one-to-one coaching. I also coach my employees here, Alhamdulillah. And then I think it's time for me to give back to the society. That's why when Sherin invited me and James invited me, and I feel honored to be invited. And then it's time for me to give back to this community, to share my 15 years experience. Of course, throughout this experience have made me a better person, and then I feel very grateful because I'm in these positions, and I know that people out there also are struggling to get a job. So I think I've been called to share my experience to the public. Yeah, I think over to you,
That's
Jim.
good. Wow, yeah, it's really an honor actually to get you to share your experience because you've got tons of experience. Hi, Charlene. Welcome to the show. So I'm sure you watched the clip at the beginning of the show, right? So what do you think about it? Even though that's year 2005 and 2011,
Yeah.
would you say that those scenarios are relevant to today's world?
All right, thank you, Sherin. To respond to the questions, yeah, I saw the video. Yeah, more or less, we can say totally different compared to the current workforce. Now, I think during this so-called challenge of COVID-19, we can see a lot of employees now moving towards digitalizations. As you can see now, we are also, interviewing through through virtual. Yes, of course,
Yes.
yeah, that's the way moving forward. And of course, from home kind of, approach will be another options for us to consider. Because knowing whether we like it or not, we still haven't received the vaccine yet. I mean, they are waiting
Mm.
to be to their turn. But again, the risk is still there. So
Mm.
these are the new norms that we need to adopt accordingly. Yeah.
Absolutely. I will say it's spreading like wildfire again. So we
I
have our
know.
education minister coming on at 2 o'clock. If any of you have children, you might
Mm.
want to hear it because I'm wondering what's going to be the announcement about. I'm sure it's
Yeah,
something.
it's like, do you go to school? Do you not go to school? Do you go to school? Do you not go to school?
Yeah,
Uh,
like happening non-stop. Yeah.
amazing.
So for those who are joining, hi Tila, hi Kyrol. Today the topic of the day is hiring patterns in the COVID-19 pandemic.
Mm.
So over to you, James.
So, as you all know, the labor market worldwide was disrupted in 2020 as the unprecedented event led to the workplace closure and losses in working hours. It was recorded that there were 114 million job losses in 2020 relative to 2019. This is 114 million, yeah. Entering 2021, the labor market remained in a challenging situation following the rising number of COVID-19 new cases, and it's still on the rise.
Yeah. Sorry, I was just getting very distracted because someone said hi and I don't know who that is. And at the same time, the phone seems to be ringing and ringing, clients calling. So
Someone by the
clients,
name of someone by the name of
right.
LinkedIn user.
Yeah. So anyway, like we all know, the MCO was re-implemented again beginning 13 January, right? Where only actually 5 essential economic sectors were allowed to operate. So it's very difficult. It's really, really difficult times. You couldn't even travel interstate. You were just stuck at home within your own state. Well, at least we have a big enough state to move around, And then even operating hours were limited. And
Yeah.
non-essential businesses like night markets and salons. I was crippled, yes. And our training business also couldn't run at that time. So yeah, those are the actually statistics from the Department of Statistics of Malaysia. These are not made up statistics. These are real statistics. Yeah.
Yeah, all this data brought us to one huge question, Sherin and Azmi, which is, are companies still hiring in today's world?
Exactly. But before we proceed, let's ask our guest a question, okay?
Yeah.
So you're hearing in, if you were affected by the pandemic, let us know how. Put it in the chat section. We would love to hear from you. So are you guys ready? I'm sure you guys are. So let's dive into the topic today. Like I said, the topic today is hiring patterns during the pandemic. So Azmi,
Yeah.
as an introduction, can you actually explain to us the hiring process in the regular work, the pre-pandemic, compared to now?
Okay. All right. Thank you, Sherin. Good question. All right. Before we've been affected by COVID-19, I think all the company is undergoing the normal hiring, like advertisement. People start sending their resume and then having a face-to-face interview, and then they will take some time to recruit. But now after COVID, now we are in the COVID-19 situation. You know, honestly, some of the company, are unable to survive. In fact, and
Yeah.
they are really slashing the headcounts, and then they will review what will be the so-called current and critical needs at the moment, because now we are talking about survival. So
Yes.
you can see there are a lot of people be retrenched, lay off, salary pay cut, and etc. So it's very disheartening, in which we can see a lot of people being unemployed, and then this is not good for our economy in return. So you can see that will be the difference now. Company now a bit more calculative, assessing what will be their critical roles. And if in fact if they want people to join them, they will offer some sort of contract job, short-term contract, because the stability in terms of their financial is critical at stake, you see. So we don't want that to happen. But then we need to go with it, and then we need to adjust accordingly what will be the demand, the current demand of the market at the moment. That will be the difference. Answering to Sherin question.
James?
What can I say?
Yeah.
So, as someone who has been in HR for more than 15 years, do you yourself, um, were you yourself highly affected by the pandemic, or, um, what about people around you?
Yeah, interesting. Thank you, James, for the question. Me in HR, of course, I'm so blessed because my company, no one been retrenched, no one been getting this salary rate cut. Everyone still getting their job and they are still enjoying the salary. And Alhamdulillah, we are also getting our bonus surprisingly.
Wow.
Alhamdulillah. Yeah. Uh, One thing for sure is actually, there are two school of thought on this. Some of the company will take some cut cost measures to
Mm.
to 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 uh, to make sure survival. But for our company, we are a little bit more concerned about the employee welfare. We believe that if things happen like this, if let's say we lay off our employees, so in consideration of humanity, there will be a lot of people will suffer from this. So I think I'm blessed joining this company, Alhamdulillah. And then of course my colleague, my circle of contact, they are being affected as well. When they shared the story, I also feel sad, but I'll help
Yeah.
where I can. Being in the talent management side, I'm leading talent management side, recruitment, also talent development. So that's where I help where necessary, even into helping them to get a job for other company as well. Not only for my
Mm.
company, but for other company. Because I do believe at this juncture, we need to help each other to be
Yeah.
more better.
True, true, true.
Kita tolong kita.
Ya, kita tolong
No,
kita.
actually kita jaga kita.
Kita jaga
Wrong.
kita, correct.
We have an interesting observation from Tila. Tila
Yeah.
says that she was to be promoted, but during COVID-19, but unfortunately she was retrenched on 1st May, and they don't need her seniority anymore. And she has been in the HR field for more than 26 years. Yes, pandemic not only affects the parents, but it's affected almost everyone that we know.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And Mimi said no bonus this year. Well, Mimi, I guess as long as there's a job, there is still salary going on. For me, I feel I'll be very, very grateful already. Well, we have some friends of ours who joined. Hi, Rizwan and hi, Smita. So lovely to see you all. Rizwan is another HR too. So, well, Ansha Azmi, you
Yeah.
said that you guys you're really lucky to be where you are, and there was no retrenchment. People were enjoying salaries, and you guys are even getting a bonus. But the
Yeah.
market out there during the pandemic, was there a massive hire process freeze? Did they freeze all hiring processes?
All right. Okay, a good question from Sherin. Yeah, I agree with you. The market out there now, they are freezing their recruitment. In fact, my colleague from other company doing HR also, they are also freezing their recruitment activities. Due to this pandemic, yeah, everyone is affected. And as I think they are more concerned about the criticality of the job. Um, there are actually a few type of jobs lah. And one probably I can share with you on the mission critical position. So
Mhm.
those mission critical position coming out with strategy and etc. They are putting on hold because they want to see because getting people in example Tila just now when they promote people to the other level, they need to pay extra increment. So
True.
this is cost, for example. This is cost. So they will rather to recruit those we call it OCP, operational critical positions, lower level for fresh graduate because to them is so-called cost saving. So yeah, a lot of senior people also be retrenched, and then yeah, it's massively been done. I know one of my contacts, my friend, dealing with HR also. Um, he mentioned that around 50% of the workforce been cut off. So
Fifty percent. Wow.
yeah, 50% be cut
Wow.
off.
That's
Um,
me.
yeah, be offered for VSS. But again, they can only survive what 3 months down the road, and after that, what happened to the family? So
Mm.
it's very very sad news lah. But again, I mentioned to my contacts that we need to be patient, and then at the same time we need to respond to the situation very well, because we want to be in the market again, get a job,
Mm.
and then move on. Because I think my contacts, been in the company for the past 10 years. So here
Mm.
we go. When the company give a decision to lay off or to offer BSS, these are the critical and important decision they have made. So as employee, we need to be ready. And then Alhamdulillah, now he also actively looking for a job, and I also give some referrals to my contacts to other companies to see if they get a job.
Interesting that you mentioned this, because this leads on to my next question, which is, can you explain to us the biggest difference of the methods that companies use to recruit new employees now compared to pre-pandemic?
You're right. Thank you, James. Good questions. Now, they are more, assessing towards critical position first.
Mm.
Those once they identify the critical position, they will advertise through social media, website, etc., or the
Yeah.
recruitment channels. After that, they will call for interview. But this time, interview is more towards, virtual interview like this,
Mm.
one to one. Um, then the feedback also very fast, because during this pandemic, we cannot travel interstate.
Yeah.
All the big gun, all the big boss, all the decision maker is here in the company. So in terms of hiring processor will be much more faster compared to the previous one,
Mm.
compared to the pre-pandemic. So we can see the way of recruitment moving forward is very much faster. But again, with the limited so-called job opportunities and job offers. Yeah, that
Mm.
would be the other side of it. Yeah, positive and
Very
negative.
good.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you mentioned social media to advertise that you all are looking for some vacancies, right, to be filled.
Yes.
How I also notice so many people are out of the jobs, but I don't tend to see them, getting to that vacancies, because I talk to quite a lot of people also. They don't see that vacancies. So the social media is so huge. I'm just wondering, how is it going to be targeted to this group of people? Hey, we are hiring, we're looking for people.
Mhm.
How has it been for you actually? I mean, when you put out on social media, do you get the right candidates coming in? Do you get a lot of candidates? Because I actually use social media myself
Yeah.
to hire, but there was not much, feedback from these people.
I don't know about you. I've never been hired through social media. What's wrong with me? Maybe it's my.
What's wrong with me?
Okay, good question from Sherin. Actually, I think I noticed that during this pandemic, I think the trend is moving towards social recruitment. Social
Mm.
recruitment means social media recruitment, where because to be honest, when there are a lot of people being unemployed, actually there will be a surplus in terms of supply,
Mm.
but with limited numbers of vacancies. So
Yeah.
again, when there are a lot of talent and then with limited position available, so the employer have a choice to select the right talent, the quality talent, where they want to see to the level of their social media account. We also see what would be their LinkedIn accounts,
Mm.
Facebook, yeah, IG, because we want to select the best of the best. So again, these are the things that the job seekers need to be really careful in whatever
Yeah.
posting that you posted in your social media,
So
whether
true. So true.
yeah.
So true. So,
So
if you're looking for jobs via whatever method, this is something that I used to do as well. Go into it, sneak, and see. Google them first whether they have a Facebook or LinkedIn. And a lot of them tend to just talk about their mother-in-law, their father-in-law, their food, and just. But
So
then
really,
again,
yeah.
yeah.
Sorry. Go ahead.
But then again, would that be just the right method? I mean, yeah, Shireen.
Yeah, guys, if you guys are out there listening to us and looking to be hired, this is a very, 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 very important tip that is given by two HR experts. don't use your HR, your social media for
Social
venting.
media. Yes.
You know, you don't
All-
want to vent and put all your negativity out there. You want to be professional about it, because that is where HR goes and finds out more about you. It tells a load of stories, isn't it, guys?
Mr. Google can
Very
find
true.
you wherever you are.
Very true, Sherin. Very true, James.
Yeah, it's like CSI done so easy now. You just Google and everything is at your fingertips, you know. So be
Yeah.
careful of what you put onto your social media. So, guys, if you have really any questions or comments, please put it in the chat box. We are really looking forward to have more questions from you guys. And for those of you who are looking for jobs during the pandemic, well, last year, this year, do share in the comment your experience. Was it easy to get a job? Was it really tough? Were you called for an interview at the first application? Let us know. Share with us what your experiences are. We would love to hear from you.
Yeah, and especially if you've never had an interview conducted via social media before, what did you do to prepare for this? Did you wear a tie and suit? What did you do? Yeah. So interestingly enough, while you are doing that, I have an interesting question for you, Azmi.
Yeah.
What are the worst affected sectors, and would you say there's a chance for those sectors in the near future?
Right. Yeah, I think this is not secret anymore.
Yeah.
Industry that been badly affected by the COVID. One of it is travel and tourism. Travel and tourism very badly affected. Yeah, hotel and etc. This one is badly affected. But of course, when we talk about these sectors, again, yeah, they need to find another way of doing things which can make sure they survive the market. Maybe by diversifying their so-called business type of business, different sectors. Yeah, and then of course, because if you're talking about travel and tourism, of course they will put their plans and everything, business expansion before the COVID, and then now they need to uh, plan for business continuity. Instead of business plan, they need to change to business continuity, talking about the survival. Yes, to answer that, yes, it's tourism and travel companies. Yeah, badly
The worst affected, yeah.
most affected, yeah.
Yeah, those are the really worst affected sectors. But really, the ones that were flourishing so well were what do you guys think?
Food business.
The food,
Business,
the gloves,
correct, correct,
the
correct.
sanitizers. Like, oh my god.
Massive. The masks.
Yeah,
Yeah, the mask.
All of a sudden, we had this fantastic looking mask from this hospital mask to fantastic looking, with sequins and patchwork, needlework, and wow, creativity is out there, man.
I
We have
know.
an interesting question from CA. Should candidates disclose their hustle or hustles during interviews?
okay. Good question from CA. Should they disclose or otherwise? Yeah, side hustle. During interview, my advice that until and unless the panel of interview asks, then you respond. If
Right.
they don't ask, so please don't disclose. If they ask, okay, example, if they ask this question, you have any side hustle, so probably you can disclose. You can disclose honestly, and then you need to be very careful in terms of your answer, because they are also evaluating you as a candidate. Not only you, during that interview session, there are so many candidates waiting to be interviewed. So again, you disclose when they ask, you disclose, and then you mention that you will do your side hustles is after office hour, which is not affect your operations.
Yes. Yeah.
And
True. True.
hence, yeah, don't say that you do side hustle, but will utilize my time 24 hours, which will affect your job opportunity.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, you're right to say that, because I also feel interview skills, like we teach in our classes, the way to ask questions is really berputar belik mix.
Yeah.
You know, you just turn and twist. Eventually, you know the truth. So it's better to be honest and upfront. So if you have a hard, let it out, right?
Yeah, exactly. To be honest, yeah.
So our Mimi says our recruitment was frozen because of this pandemic. There were tons of people looking for jobs.
Yes,
And Ileana, if all of you know her, she was actually from a protege program, and she was lucky enough to get a job. But a lot of my colleagues are still looking for a job and having yet to find any. And she was interviewed online.
Right. And we have a guest all the way from Bangladesh.
Hi,
So,
Rajib.
Adhikari, welcome.
Welcome from Bangladesh. And if anyone else from anywhere else besides Malaysia, let us know in the chat in the chat section. So, James, I remember vaguely that you did mention, right, that you were affected by the pandemic.
Yes.
Mind sharing briefly about it?
Briefly, you need an entire session with me, Sherin. An entire session with me. I was jobless for 6 years, Sherin. 6 years, 6 months.
Man, that was 6 years, serious?
Well, it seemed like
it
seemed like 6 years, but luckily, you know, a lot of things. You know, for some people, the pandemic had pros and cons, but for me, it was interestingly enough that the banks came up with a program where they went on the moratorium, and I, you know, from spending X amount of money on my bank loan, it was slashed in half, which was great. And of course, like Liana said, there was protege program and all that. But for me, it was more of a time to just, you know, come back and improve on my skills. I took that as an opportunity to upskill myself, because on a daily basis we are so busy, especially HR people, right? We're so busy chasing after so many things that we find it difficult for ourselves to upskill ourselves. And although I was jobless for 6 months because the projects had to stop, we had to send all the foreign workers away, and I was newly recruited, for a matter of fact, you know, in January. That was last year, right? And they said, look, we can't confirm you because projects are slow. We haven't got any finances coming in. We can't confirm you, so off you go. But I took that as, you know, to my stride and upskilled myself.
Excellent. So you mentioned, right, HR people are always busy. Let me guess, always busy because you all are always running after the people.
Yeah. You are managing the people.
I see what you think, really running after people, right?
Yeah, you know, we are running after people. Actually, again, because end of the day, when we talk about performance of the company, it very much depends on the people itself. So managing human is our business. So this is our asset, and then we want to make sure they are not only, you know, contributing to the company, but at the same time we want to give them some development where they can see they can grow together with the company, because when the people grow, company also grow indirectly. So again, end of the day, it's a business, you know, running the it's a people running the business. So people say that, you know, the system will take over the job and etc. I don't believe that, because
AI.
AI, there are there are a lot of limitation. Again, we are here to make sure that things happen. End of the day, people want to see in person. Customer want to see you in person rather than see you only at, you know, virtual exactly, virtual platform. So
what about you, Sherin? What about your training business?
Oh, very good question. Well,
you turned the table on her. Since you turned the table on me.
Yeah, I thought I was just relaxing here, just going to ask you guys questions. Now you are asking me a question. Well, honestly, to tell you the truth, no lies at all. When the announcement of MCO was announced on the 18th of March 2020, Immediately the next day, the whole calendar, which was booked until the end of the year, went to zero. Totally zero. So what do you think? Were we impacted? Yes, we were massively impacted on that first day, but we didn't give up hope. We pivoted very fast and went online. So within a month, we were already on our feet. And I will say, thankfully for this pandemic, that everything had to move really quick, because I always spoke to clients about going online 3 years ago, but nobody wanted to do that. It was like think of the future, maybe 10 years, 15 years down the road, but never today, and when it actually came by and everyone had to go online and started doing their trainings, getting used to online, doing meetings online, attending trainings online, doing everything online, working from home. Even our telecommunication industries were not prepared, because the towers, the digital towers were all placed in office lots, but the home towers were very low in capacity, that all of us had the issue of Wi-Fi. I think you guys had too.
And data as well. I mean, now that you are jobless, you have to spend that amount of money on data. So even even as some businesses slash headcounts, others are adhering to their employing plans, or in any event stepping up their recruitment game. Which sectors do you think are thriving during this pandemic, seizing the opportunity? I know for one, my company personally, our engineering marine operations, we are hiring as well. So what about you? What do you think? Which industry do you think are seizing this opportunity and grabbing as many people out there as possible?
All right. From my observation, there are certain industry who are really thriving for and grabs this opportunity. One of it is a medical line, the pharmaceutical companies. Other than that, I can see IT side, telco, they are catching up very fast. They grab this opportunity. As you mentioned, now we have have issue and problem when we put from home. There are certain limit bandwidth in terms of internet coverage. So this IT or telco company, they are taking this opportunity to really make something like make business. So I think I can say telco is a so-called untouched business. I mean, whether it's good or bad times, people are still, will be using the handphone and online, etc. So telco industry, I think, is untouched business, and very profitable. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Another one I will say is also logistics, because the logistics actually picked up speed quite a lot. They were doing a lot of things. People couldn't go out to buy stuff.
Correct.
So that's another one. So guys, if you guys are looking for a job, try to prioritize your sectors so that you want to look. But of course, if there's 1,000 people applying for the same job in those sectors, then it will be a problem. But because you are attending this show, so you got the leverage, because you hear this.
So it's enough for some interesting tips.
Yeah. So well, we have Tila says, agree with James. I used my time to upskill also. Yeah, we had a lot of people who used their time to upskill at that time. That's excellent, because we can never stagnate ourselves. We have to keep growing and growing in whatever situation. Isn't that right?
True.
Yeah. So what do you think companies should do to step up their game? And what's the new normal when it comes to the hiring process, Jasmine?
All right, good question, Sherin. To step up from the games, we want to make sure that we remain competitive. We still want to make money to do business. We need to catch up with the new normal, new technology. I can see now some of the company invested on certain equipment like teleconferencing equipment, etc. because they want to live in the moment and they don't want to left behind. So they equip themselves with this kind of equipment. At the same times, they are also cautious in terms of the cost. That one is we cannot run.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, everyone is saying it's the employers' market at the moment.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, some companies have taken a more future-oriented stance to their hiring, Asmi, and they're planning for an eventual upswing job market. Can you elaborate on that? What is this future-oriented stance that they are taking?
Okay, thank you, James. Good question. When we talk about future orientation, recruitment, the company now takes time because they have a lot of time now, especially those key maker, key decisions. They really sit down and think what would be the key critical positions, the backbone of the companies. Rather than nice to have, they have to consider what need to have, the,
Mm,
the compulsory one. So future oriented means they need to balance between the current and the future needs
mhm,
with that kind of so-called limited budget. So yes, again, of course, when we want to do this, we cannot say, example, we have around 100 employees. From this 100, we will expect our employees, to be creative in terms of innovation, way of doing things, because we want to do more with these people. So again, yes, way of doing things like prioritizing the criticality of the job first.
mm.
Secondly, they are also revising their talent management strategy, because end of
Yes.
the day, it's a people run the business. They
Yeah.
want to make sure how they can compensate or offset whatever the contribution given by the employees in terms
Mm,
of rewards.
mm,
So this talent management strategy is very important now, where they need to retain the talent. At the same
mm,
time, they want to make sure these people, our employees, have been challenged. They get better exposure and better challenge for them to develop further. Because if
mm.
they just do a normal kind of jobs, they are not being challenged,
Mm.
so they will stay at their comfort zone. So here we are to really revising our talent management strategy.
Yeah, I mean, just to
Yep.
be prepared in the eventuality that this continues or another
Yep.
wave, as they say, the fourth wave. Maybe the audience could share with us if you were affected or if you know someone who was affected, yeah, Sherin, have lost a job or what. What was some of the creative ways of staying afloat, for example? What did they do? That'll be an interesting thing to find out, right? Yeah, what did they do to stay, to keep finances flowing, for example?
Wow, I would
That,
love
that,
to know the answer.
yeah, for me personally, I relied on my own skills, which is baking.
Oh,
So,
yes.
Yeah.
yeah, but I didn't really move into the food business because I saw a lot of people were moving into the food business, and there was so much creativity in terms of the food business itself. We suddenly saw, a boom in creative food.
Yep.
Yes,
Yep.
It's
Yep.
just amazing.
I
The
was a
amount of
supporter.
the amount of talent we had out there, which would not have happened if you were, someone who was caught up in the daily grind of life of 9 to 5, for example, yeah, and you didn't have time to explore that creative side of you. So if you did do something, creative while waiting for a full-time job, what was it? Tell us so that we'll get to know, and maybe you'll get some support from other audiences as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. I actually like what you said because everyone I actually met few people who actually when they got out of the job because they had no job, they had to find money, they got creative. And that's where they started doing what they're passionate with. I even heard of one having a swimming lesson indoor or something with SOP. I was like, how do you do that? I can't get the idea.
Indoors, eh?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
You
then
can put a
another
swimming pool
guy,
inside your house.
I still can't get the idea. I was like, wow, awesome. And then there was another guy who lost his job. He became a dog trainer. We hired him so that he could train our dog, which is still very naughty because she's a baby. Yeah, so yeah, that's a very good question, James. So guys, if you have got really creative doing something, put it up on the chat box, because who knows, I'm one person who support startup businesses also.
Yeah. Or if you know someone who did leave their 9 to 5 job during the pandemic and are now, booming creatively online. Everything's online.
Exactly.
Do tell us and share. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, I want to ask you, Azmi, what is your prediction for the hiring pattern for the next 6 months? I mean, if things return back to normal, do you think the hiring process will also go back to normal?
Okay, good question. If everything go back to normal,
Mhm.
of course, there will be some changes, positive growth and positive progress, but not immediately. They want to increase the numbers because they also still suffer from this pandemic. They will take some time.
Yeah.
But of course, the job opening will be, will be grow, slowly but surely. If everything goes back to normal, yeah, I think
Mm,
a lot of us. I think the company also suffer financially.
Mhm.
They will take time to recover
it-
before they do this some sort of job openings to the market. Yeah, but of course there will be a good signal, lah, good indication if everything goes back to normal.
How would a
absolutely.
company like you step up your game in terms of the new normal, for example, when it comes to hiring, etc.? Can you share with us an example of your own company's strategies, if you
Okay,
don't mind?
okay.
Or
In
your
a
personal
nutshell,
strategy.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, okay. In a nutshell, we are very lucky and blessed because our management, I can categorize them as the so-called strategic thinker. They can see this thing coming. Um, during this downturn, because I think not only pandemic, I think during the economic crisis, when we affected by economic crisis before, our management are now very prudent and sensible. Uh, during the good times, they already start investing. Just to
Yeah.
share in general, they start
Mm.
investing and expanding the business. So, but again, very prudent in terms of costing. Um, but we spend on things that we just need, uh, not lavishly, but just enough for us. And during this pandemic, alhamdulillah, I think my company is expanding, acquiring other car brands. Now we are in
Wow.
Mazda, and then recently December 2020 we are acquiring Peugeot car. And
Wow.
then last month we are acquiring another Kia brand. So now we are managing three brands. So imagine during this COVID, I can see our management is very strategic thinker, like we're very strategic, where they uh, put some strategy. People say those who stay in power, um, can have this, but of course they put some efforts and strategic thinking of doing this lah.
Yeah.
That's why we are progressing better. That's why we are not retrenching any people because of our foundation is very strong. Yeah, Alhamdulillah.
Yeah. So, do we get a discount if we buy a car
Yeah,
from
sure,
you?
sure, sure.
See how I
Of
we can
slipped that in.
sure we can consider that, James. No problem. Not so
Anyway,
much.
course.
this will be the last question, Azmi.
Wait, I want to say something. Hi, Andreas. Andreas just joined us because he was in a bad location. If you just joined us, we're coming to the end of the show. But
Yes.
topic was about hiring during this pandemic. Okay, on to you, James. I better silent because they're doing some renovation here.
Yeah. So to conclude today's session, what's your advice to those that are currently looking for a job?
Okay, good question, James. My advice for those who are looking for a job now is for us to, uh, think again what would be the market, the demand out there. Example, if you are in the, you are having a degree in probably in business administration. But looking at the market at the moment, probably they are looking more in terms of IT digitalizations. So always suits yourself to the market. You see, in order for us to be relevant, we need to suit ourselves to the market, not to our own interest. Because end of the day, we are talking about survival. It's a survival versus patient, is it?
True.
So now we are talking about survival. We need to really tailor-make and customize and make ourselves ready. I like when James mentioned during the 6 month, you've been unemployed, you upskill yourself. This is very
Yeah.
good. This is a very good move. We want to add value when we join the company later. We want to add value to the company. But
Yeah.
the question is, if you if let's say you don't want to add value to yourself, so how can you want to add value to the company? So you
True.
need to add value to yourself first, and then after that you can add value to the company. But of course, you
What
need to acquire more knowledge, etc.
what gives you that one up above the next candidate? Like that queue, the long queue. Yeah, what makes
Yeah.
you jump queue and be right in front of the queue, and for the recruiter to go, hey, look, that's a candidate that we should be hiring.
You got to
Definitely.
stand out.
Yeah, stand out and then stay on top of the curve. You see,
Yeah.
it is very important. Yeah,
Yeah.
very, very important.
Yeah. Ileana said a friend of mine, not me, she says specifically not me, were doing TikTok during the pandemic and it actually made her side business selling face masks went viral. You see, look at that. As simple as a face mask.
Yeah, as I told you, all these different types of face masks with sequins and all that stuff. Wow.
James, don't tell me you have one.
I
Oh my
only
god,
have
he's
this.
searching for it.
I only have this. This is a nice one because it has that thing for the nose. And look,
My problems, James. It's not 3-ply.
this is pakai buang sahaja.
Hey, you just like the other cubicle. Well, we're approaching to the end of the show. I would like to really thank Norazmi for his valuable and brilliant inputs, and of course, your time. I know your schedule is so busy, but you actually spend so much time giving so much value to the people who attended today. Thank you so much, Norazmi.
Yeah, and also thanks to everyone for being here and listening to our discussions. If you have any other comments, as usual, questions or suggestions, do let us know. Azmi, before we end, would you like to share with our audience your social media links and how they can reach you in case they have any other further questions?
All right, can thank you, James. All right, you can reach me with LinkedIn, Norazmi Ibrahim, Facebook, Norazmi Ibrahim, Instagram, Azmi_Ibrahim, Ibrahim, and then you can also follow our LinkedIn page, Be Auto Strategic Talent Management. We are now actively hiring people. Yesterday we had a live session with the candidates, job seekers. So we are doing this every month. So
every month.
So the upcoming one will be on the end of May. So follow our page, and then we will give you the latest updates and on the vacancies, so that you guys can apply and seize the opportunity, grab this opportunity, and then be part of our team. Yeah, because now we are expanding. We need more quality people to make sure that we have full in our talent pipeline, so that we can move forward together as a team.
And we'll share all of that in Compass Minds LinkedIn. Yeah, there you go.
Go to Compass Mind LinkedIn and it will be all there for you to follow. And make sure you follow Norazmi and his company page if you're also looking for a job or looking for a car.
Yeah,
tell us what's coming up next. I'm so excited for
Well, just for information, our next show, which will be episode 5, right? 5 has a slight change in schedule, which actually will be next week. Usually we do it fortnightly, but it's going to be next week because of the Raya holidays, and there's another holiday for the fortnights that come along.
Yeah.
So it's going to be on 5th of May, which is next week at 1 to 2 o'clock during your lunch break. And we're having a very special guest, which will be talking to you about training redefined. It's a very prominent topic on how to assure training retention. Isn't that something we all need to? So don't forget to connect with us on our social media, mine and James. And well, if you have anything that you have any questions along the way whatsoever, please let us know. And you can connect with us. The chat, the chat has our links to our.
Hey Sherin, I just thought about this.
What?
It is 5th of May, episode 5. Buku 555.
Oh, 555! Our little book. Isn't that nice, Norazmi?
It's very nice.
So till next time, you guys, on the next episode of HR Intervention, serious discussion only. Don't forget to bring your buku 555 next month, 5th of May, episode 5.
And see you soon. Bye.
Bye. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, James. Thank you, Sherin.
Thank you.